I thought I would go and take this time and afford myself the opportunity to discuss all aspects of social media as well as human interaction on the internet in general. This is something that's been a big topic of discussion online amongst everybody, mainly due in part to some recent things that have been going on, and this kind of just spurred a lot of controversy that was essentially just having people argue back and forth and bicker about things. But I thought I'd go and delve into this a lot further. I want to go and talk about the good and the bad of social media and just overall how people seem to conduct themselves online versus how they do in person, and how they're drastically different in many ways, and this is something that we've come to expect as being normal, which is really fucked up when you go to think about it. Now granted, a lot of this discussion stems around Total Biscuit deciding that he would go and leave social media altogether. This was something that he publicly stated, and due to the unfortunate decline in his health, I don't blame him. But lots of people had started discussing this and talking about it, and I kept on getting asked about this over and over again, and I thought that this would be a good opportunity to talk more in depth about the internet in general and just how people are. Whether you're using Instagram, whether you're using Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, it doesn't matter what platform it is that you're using to go and share things out, to go and discuss things with people, whether you want to become argumentative with somebody, whether you want to go and express some shit. There's all these different sites that we have at our beck and call on our desktop computers, on our laptops, in our pockets whenever we go and bust out our smartphone. This is something that's integral to the internet. We consider that to be normal. It's normal to go online, to go and send out a tweet. It's normal to go and post some kind of status update on Facebook. It's normal to go and take a picture and share it on Instagram. These are all things that people do every single day. Thousands upon thousands of times per day. This is millions of people around the world doing this, and it's normal, and it's only going to become even more commonplace as time progresses. Now, ever since the days of when the internet first started booming and we had chat rooms and we had forums and all sorts of other silly shit on there, people have been acting like assholes because of anonymity. That was one of the main things. Somebody's anonymous online, they're just like, oh yeah, I can go and do all sorts of shit I normally wouldn't do. And that's something that we just run into all the time. Hell, many people who are watching this have probably said some shit, acted a certain way, knowing full well that there isn't going to be any repercussions for your actions, for your words, so why not go and do something like this? I've always been of the sound mind that if you're on the internet, why don't you go and conduct yourself the same way that you would in person? I can't even tell you the amount of times that I've seen somebody go and say some pretty grimy shit to a chick because they find them attractive. I want to go and fucking swap the poop deck and stick my tongue in your ass and maybe go and blow a fat load on your face. But they would never even approach this woman in person, let alone have the audacity and the gall to say this kind of shit to them. And if they did, sure enough, they'd expect a stiletto heel right up the hole of their dick. Why not go and make a new one? It can shoot from both ends now. That's what I would expect if you said some dumbass shit like that, and nobody would go and bat an eye, because like, well, yeah, had it coming, didn't he? Think about the amount of people that sit there and say that they've fucked your mother, that they want to go and troll the shit out of you, that they want to go and pull up your information. Think about swatting. Think about how many different things. People making multiple different accounts so that they can go and harass somebody. This is commonplace on the internet, and we know that. Now, take somebody who is well known. Take anybody who has some sort of a celebrity status and is famous, and now you put them on the internet. Now, if they want to distance themselves from the internet altogether, from social media, because they don't need that anymore. They don't want to interact with that many people all of the time. They don't want to be put under a light, a spotlight, a microscope, for a spinning mud ball of people to be able to look at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then that is their option. That is what they can choose to do. Anybody that's going to go out of their way and act as though that person owes it to them to stay online so that they can look at them, so that they can read up about them, so that they can say obsessively in their lives, that person is fucking insane. You should respect the wishes of anybody who wants to go and leave the internet, let alone for something that has to do with medical reasons. This is their personal life. Who the fuck are you to go and say otherwise? I think that it's absolutely insane that there's even folks out there that think that this is their right. You do not own them. You are not a puppeteer pulling strings. If somebody went and decided to go and flip the script and make you the person who is extremely famous, put up on a pedestal, an overnight success, everybody knew about you and wanted a piece of you, chomping at your boot heels, everybody just wanted to go and get a glimpse into your life, hear anything that you have to say, go and share that with a ton of people. If they told you, well, you can't leave social media because you want to, and they try tearing you down for it, I'm pretty goddamn sure you'd be pissed off thinking that other people are trying to go and control your life. That's insane. That is fucking ridiculous. To think that anybody out there is like that, it's not surprising, mind you, but it's still ridiculous all the same. You know, I think about social media and how good it can be. I mean, I've seen people band together. I'm talking, they all fixate their attention. They fixate all of their energy, all of their ambition. They fixate all of this together with other like-minded individuals to do something positive and to truly just do something that a lot of people wouldn't think was previously possible until people banded together, shared this out, other people knew about it, and they did something good. But just like the good things that can be done, there's also plenty of people that decide that they need to take the positivity, then turn it into negativity, and do the most vile, corrupt, and fucked up things that they can, if for no reason other than boredom, because of, man, that's so fucking funny, all the lulzy shit, right? That's what's amusing to people, is, just a prank, bro, I was just kidding. When motherfuckers get found out that they've been doing this kind of shit, I can't even tell you the amount of fucking people that will sit there and pull out excuses like a goddamn machine gun and fire them off everywhere, hoping one of them sticks. It's even more amazing whenever some of these people get found out that they've been that psychotic person that's out there with the multiple accounts, that's saying all the fucked up shit, that's doing the messed up things. When they get caught, then what? They get so backed into a corner, they don't know what to do. And it's even worse because they're so socially inept, they don't know how to conduct themselves in person. So online, they're just like a dog off of a leash, foaming at the mouth, and instead of fucking teeth, they just got fingertips, planted to a keyboard, going nuts. I love social media because it's a lot of fun in many different ways. I've had tons of fantastic conversations on there, and I've had lots of awesome things day in and day out happen thanks to social media. I've learned tons of things. I got to have great conversations. I've gotten to know people a lot better. I've been able to have people get to know me better because of social media. But with that, you're also going to run into people that are fucking assholes. These fucktards will go so far out of their way to try to make you miserable for whatever laundry list of reasons that they can go and concoct and bring up and try to say, this is my justification for hating this individual. You see this? Reasons A, B, C, and D in column 1? No, clearly I'm allowed to go and do this because of all that. Justification through all of my actions now. Ha 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 ha. That's the kind of shit that you're gonna run into, but anytime you get well known, when you put yourself out there in the public eye, this is essentially what's going to happen. Think about legitimate celebrities within Hollywood. Legitimate celebrities within, like, I don't know, the sports field. All these athletes out there that lots of people know. Think about artists, musicians. Lots of people will know them, and there's millions upon millions upon millions of people that are saying shit to them, at them, about them, 24 hours a day. Can you imagine what that does to your fucking psyche after a while? And even if you go and you water it down to something that can sit into an eyedropper compared to the ocean of shit there, and you deal with that 1 or 2 a day, you're always going to remember that negative shit first and foremost. I say that you always focus on the positivity, but the thing is, it is part of human nature to fixate, even if you don't want to, but it's always in the back of your head to fixate on that negativity that was thrown right out in front of you. 100 people can go and say you're awesome, now one person spits in your way, and you end up thinking about that person. While granted, you know, the good outweighs the bad, that bad still finds its way to go and seep right into your brain, and that's what you're thinking about. That's what you're bothered by. Now think about somebody who is dealing with a ton of traumatic shit in their personal life, that they just want to be around their friends and their family, and they do not want to be on social media. They do not want that interaction anymore. that is their right. If they want to go and cut ties with that, they should be able to go and do that without anybody having any kind of qualms with it. The people out there, and this isn't discussing anybody who's, saddened by it. I'm talking about those that are irate over the idea that something like that can happen and think, oh man, you son of a bitch, you motherfucker, and all this other shit, getting legitimately angry about it. And I also just want to go and talk about all these motherfuckers with these e-peens that think that they're so much bigger and badder than they truly are, and say all the shit, I'm gonna go and kill you, I'm gonna go and kick your ass, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go and do that, on the internet. But you would never do this shit in person. 90% of you are like 5 fucking pounds soaking wet. And you think that you're gonna go and do something? Your limp-wristed fucking shit-twisting dumb ass couldn't sit there and throw a goddamn punch hard enough to break a paper bag, but you think you're gonna go and kick some fucking ass over, what? A difference of opinion over something that is really not important. I understand wanting to go and get into debates online, and that's all fine and good, but when people go and start taking it beyond that, when they start dragging people's family into shit, children into shit, all this other crap, bringing up things that have nothing to do with it, trying to go inside the person's personal life to go and dig that up to make a fool of them or something, oh, I'll make a mockery of them, and that'll really prove my point about this little discussion that we had that didn't really go all that well because, well, we didn't agree on something, but, I need to go and do this now. You are a maniac, and not in a good way. I'm not talking about Arkham Asylum being locked up there because Batman had to go and track you down because you were running around fucking fear gas or you were doing something with laughing fish or some shit. No, I'm talking about somebody who obviously has a fucking mental problem, and not something you can sit there and put in your fucking bio as a first goddamn description and make yourself seem like a unique little snowflake. No one gives a fuck about that. Why don't you try quit being an asshole? I know that's an amazing idea, right? That right there, oh man, must have fucking pulled out of left field, correct? I do. Again, I know that I'm fixating on the negative aspects of social media, but man, there's so many fucking issues about it. Whenever I started thinking about recording this, I just kept on seeing droves of stupid bullshit. The stuff that I've dealt with, and I'm just the tip of this gigantic fucking deep iceberg in the ocean. I think about some of the shit that's been said to me over and over again throughout the years, yet nobody would ever do this stuff, and nobody would ever say this shit to me in person. But now I think about people way more well-known. I'm a drop in the ocean. I think about people that are legitimately famous, legitimately well-known. And that saddens me, and I can understand why somebody would want to go and cut ties. I think about my personal friends and people that I just know that have cut ties with social media because they didn't want to deal with any of the folks that they know around the area or just in general, and the block button just wasn't enough. They just didn't care anymore. Social media wasn't for them. They were done, wash your hands of it, and that was it. They have people's phone numbers, they have their addresses. If they need to get in contact with them, they will. And it's not because of them being famous, it's just not wanting to deal with everybody else's bullshit all the time. Think about it. We have all of these people that will talk 24 hours a day about every single little aspect of everybody's life. Do you need to hear about that? I don't give a shit that you just bought oranges when you just went to the store. I don't need to be interested in that. But if somebody turned around and said, well, I need to hear you talk about that, and how fucking dare you say that you're not going to be on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the fuck? How dare you go and do something like that? As if they're going to band together, get a change.org petition, and then they're going to sit outside picketing because you're not on social media. What fucking goddamn asylum did I walk into? This is lunacy. This is, might as well take a mallet, crack yourself over the head, fucking birds chirping and stars above your head spinning around, because that's nuts. I think about the great things that have happened because of social media, because man, there's a lot of causes out there that wouldn't have been well known. There's a lot of people out there that wouldn't have been helped if it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for other people going and driving pictures around, information around, any and all things that they can go and get out there so that it can go onto a screen for somebody else to see, for them to take this information, share that to other people so it can keep going round and round and round. There's been so many beautiful things because of social media. I will admit, I'm not going to sit there and act as if, all aspects of social media and people in general are suddenly just evil. No, nothing like that. But holy fucking shit, does this stuff need to be discussed? I love going on Twitter. I love going on Facebook. Have I dealt with bad shit? Yeah. Have I dealt with a lot of good shit? Most certainly. The good always outweighs the bad. That is the honest truth. There are always way more good people out there in the world than there are bad people. But it's those fucking assholes. Those are the ones that seem to just ring off in somebody's head. I always try to tell a lot of folks, you just gotta ignore it or deal with it in a way that you can have a laugh about it. At the expense of that person's blatant ignorance to even try to say or do some of the shit that they're doing. When it starts to step over certain boundaries and gets really serious, that's a completely different scenario in how you have to go and handle it. But I'm just talking about the overall somebody saying, hey, fuck you, oh, I hate you, oh, faggot, go kill yourself, oh, I fucked your mother, stupid bitch. Anything. You already know tons of people out there say this shit just to go and get a rise out of you. I can't tell you the amount of times that somebody has to go and mute all microphones when they go into online games. I can't even tell you about the cesspool of fucking negative comments that you see on YouTube. Holy shit. The dumb crap that's on Facebook sometimes. Entire pages and groups dedicated just to go and getting a rise out of people. Some of the troll ones can be funny because it's obviously just done in jest, and it's very obvious that it's littered with sarcasm, but there's ones out there that are just to rile people up and are trying to go and take negativity and spread it around so other people that see that become like-minded to the one that started it all. But with all of this, man, if somebody wants to leave, let them leave. Respect their wishes. That's what they want to do, let them do it. It doesn't make them a bad person, and you have no right to tell them otherwise. Are you their significant other? Are you their children? Are you their parents? Are you part of their family? Are you their close fucking friends? Like, who the fuck do you think that you are? Missing a person and wishing them well, fine and good. But anybody trying to say otherwise, fuck off with all that nonsense. Fucking batshit crazy thinking that you can. And again, heed my advice. Ignore a ton of the shit out there and just have a good laugh at the other ones that you can sit there and just poke at. And flip it and turn it into something that becomes a joke. If you want to truly respond to it. If you take people out there that don't matter and you will make them matter by caving in to their negativity and letting it bother you, letting it affect you, just keep that in mind, that they'll end up winning because of that. And you can hate this video if you want. You can disagree with everything I'm saying, thumb me down and not like me and leave the meanest comments. I really don't give a fuck. I don't. I still have the same opinion that I did prior to recording the video. While I'm recording the video right now, when I edit and upload the video, I'm still going to have the same exact opinion. It's not going to magically change just because you don't like it. I will go on with my day. You aren't the first motherfucker to say bad shit about me. You aren't going to be the last motherfucker to say bad shit about me. All I can ever tell them is, get the fucking line. You aren't the unique, special little snowflake that you think that you are because you don't like something, because you hate something, because you disagree with somebody. Good for you. That is your shit, not mine. And this can apply to tons of different things out there. Total Biscuit, I wish you all the best in general. I've never gone to have a genuine conversation with you, but anybody that is trying to say bad shit about you because of you publicly saying that you want to distance yourself from it, they can go fuck themselves, man. Even if you even fucking saw this video, which I highly doubt, but still. Anyway, I just want to go and get all this shit off of my chest because it's something, since way back in the days of the internet first being like fucking dial-up and AOL discs galore, people have been online doing shit for a long time, and now it's just part of everyday life. And I thought this was worth talking about in general. Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin. As always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers game the fuck on.